Whoa! Sab Shed! Sab's Shed.
Hello, Cthulhu and Polaris lovers. It's been a while since my last little vlog. Lots going on really, just trying to work out how to do various things. But just a quick update on some making items here in the shed. We've got various experiments on the go. There are some Velcro experiments going on here about how to connect bits of flooring together, which I'll show you later. I've got some surface experiments here to do with a stool that is going to be made. It has to be a collapsible one, so it's got to look like metal. So a few experiments I'm doing there, and I've got some bits of strapping. This is untreated, and over here I've got some sort of leatherette straps, and the idea is I'm going to make a sort of some various straps, but I'm going to build up this to make it appear, well, not appear, I'm going to make a reinforced strapping, so this white strapping will go on top of this leather strapping riveted on. And I have some buckles here which I've assembled from various places I've scrounged. They just need to be rubbed down and painted the same sort of steel colour, which is all okay. I've got a few samples here that I've tried to do flooring colours. The original floor is sort of that I'm using is vinyl flooring, which is a bit like this, although I've darkened this a bit, but it's a browny colour, wood colour, with a lovely texture. But I want to ruin it and turn it into a more grey colour, so it looks more like not driftwood as such, but slightly worn wood, and also give it this sort of slightly greyish texture, which is a sort of colour coder for Polaris the show, sort of a grey, bluey white, if you like. And I've got one little piece of binding here, which I'm just going to, as an experiment, try dyeing. In this bucket I've put a couple of tea bags, and I'm going to put that in there and leave it overnight or for a couple of days, just to see if that will look a bit better than the plain white on the brown leather. So I've just made a sample, and I'm just going to, I'll say, do an experiment with that. So we'll leave that in there to work its magic. What else have I got to show you? A couple of magnets on there, very strong magnets, which I may be employing in a prop. That's about it as far as it goes into shed. I've got various materials and things which I'll be using. I'll also, ooh, hello, I'm back again. I'll show you on a photograph now, if I can work out how to put it onto this video, of the donor vinyl floor pieces that I've found and scrounged. This photo will be showing you in its sort of uncut form, and when I bring you back right now, I'm going to show you that I'm going to cut it up into, bring you into the secondary workshop here, into this. Now you see on the floor here I've got the same vinyl floor, which I've cut up into a sort of broken up zigzag, well not zigzag, but a broken up flooring. And the idea there is to sort of blend this flooring into the actual venue floor a little bit. It's only small, but it's wider than it's deep, and it's just to give a suggestion of this particular room that I'm going to be in. And you can see I've put a little bit of grey there as a little tester. And this is only part of what I'll be doing, but the idea is, when you make a cutout, is to sort of blend worlds together, you know, which is what I've done here. So I'll be perhaps extending that theme in the show. It just helps to sort of use the space a bit better when, from a pragmatic point of view, you don't have the resources to fill the whole stage with a particular room. In this case I wouldn't want to do that, but even so it's a small area, and rather have it sort of very defined or demarcated, which I think closets it off. For this particular show I want to sort of blend areas, if you like, so that's why I've sort of done that. Okay, and also the other thing is it comes apart. It's all done with lovely Velcro. God bless the 1960s space mission, eh? So this flooring, there's a bit cut out here, that's been reversed, comes in about, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces with these sort of Velcro strips that holds it together, and then I'll be able to roll these up and then put them in my suitcase over there, because unfortunately I don't have a car or a van or anything like that, so everything has to be sort of stowed away. So it's kind of fun and a pain in the backside at the same time. But there we are, and this is a stand-in stool. I will be having my other stool there, but that's to come. Now this interesting collection of bits of wood here is going to be quite a significant little object, and my brother's made this for me, which doesn't look very much in its current state, but all will be revealed. Anyway, this has been prepared and flame proofed, or flame retardanted, whatever that is. Next thing to do is to give it a quick once over undercoat with this here grey paint. So we'll see what happens next. I'm just going to show you very quickly because the battery's running out, and my battery's running out too, a bit tired. This here is my work in progress stool that I'm going to be using, now painted. I don't know if you can see, the light's not very good in here, to look like metal, but it's going to have these sort of pads on the side of it. I'm not going to talk about why, you can probably even work it out, but anyway, yes, I really can't show you all because it's so sunny outside. Anyway, I've mocked this up with some cable ties, and the idea is that we're going to then attach these proper what do you call it, the sort of strappings, webbing around there and there, and also around there, so you get that idea, if you like. So that's going to be dressed nicely, and then also on the top I've made this cushion which is going to go over the top, and then the larger bits of webbing here which will go crisscross in 4 ways, pulled down fast and attached underneath. So that's going to be my little padded stool. So we'll see what happens next in this rather crazy adventure this year. I really must be nuts. Anyway, it's between this place, the shed where I'm making props and set, and the old garage, and upstairs where I'm making writing the show, and where I'm doing the music. So it's all for leather, really. Oh, alright, and here's something I might use as well. It's a little leather what do you call it, brace, van brace, is it, van brace? Anyway, brace, which I may or may not use yet, I don't know yet. I sort of knocked it up quick. You won't be able to see, but there is some inscriptions on it, which I'm going to try branding onto this piece of leather with a soldering iron. It may work, it may not, I'm not sure about it yet, but I thought I'd knock it up anyway. It's kind of fun to see what you can do, and if I don't use it, no harm done. Anyway, that's all ready to go. I might try that later on. That's about it. There's lovely Darcy Bustle, who's in the shed there. Look at this here, Brighton. In Brighton they used to have this thing, they called it the Daddy Longlegs, years and years ago. Look at this wonderful, I think, Victorian engineering. This was in the sea, and it moved along submerged tracks all the way from Brighton along the way to Rottingdean. Bizarre. I think it fell over 2 or 3 times, but they rebuilt it every time. The same bloke invented this who invented the Volks Railway, Mr. Volks, which was, I think, the first electric railway in the world, I think, if not Europe. Anyway, some lovely things there. You see, you learn a lot in the shed, don't you? Alright, see you in a bit. Bye. Hello Polaris lovers. Just bringing you into my little room here where I've got bits of the floor laid out, and you can see what I've done here is that the light's a bit bad, but I've painted them a grey colour, sort of plain grey. Remember, it was the sort of wooden, it looked like sort of wood before. Still got this sort of grainy effect in there, but now I've just started to put a little wash. I've just done this little black wash over the whole thing. It's wet at the moment, but hopefully it will bring back the grain here. We can start to build on that for our Polaris floor. So there's sort of before plain grey and sort of after washed grey, but of course it will depend what it looks like when it's dry. If it's not quite right, we'll just change the consistency of the wash, which is over there, which is just a spoonful of black acrylic paint in a big dollop of water. So that's the progress here, and just to take you outside, the light's going to change now, and into the shed. I've got my third strap. Last piece of gluing is going to be fixed here. This particular strap has taken a long time to do for one reason or another, but hopefully this should do it once I finish this job and leave it overnight. I've got my stool here, which I've been just tidying up a bit. These things just mean I've done these particular areas. The next thing to do is to just put a little bit of black on the joins and a little bit of final dusting with Fuller's Earth, and then I'll show you that when that's done. Hello Polaris lovers, and we're back here in one of the little spaces. Now, this is the floor. It's just been it has had the undercoat, as I said before. It's now had the black wash, which I did do again. It's hard to see because of the light in here, but you can't really tell, but it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So the next thing I'm going to do is start to put the lines back on. See, this one I've been playing with here, put a bit more texture there. I'm going to draw the lines on and then smudge them up a bit with black paint, and then I'm going to do some detailing like this bit over here. So that gives you an idea of where we are with that, and that's going to be basically what we're going to look like. Okay, so I'll show you what the end result is. Bye. Hello again. I'm behind the camera. Yes, I am. I'll just bring you back quickly because I just had a thought. I started to do these lines just with a felt tip to start with, and then I'm going to make them nicer later. But whenever you're doing something with a ruler, I've got my long ruler here, that's over a certain distance, or in general really, always try, and this is something one of my oldest teachers ever told me in junior school, and his name was Mr. Applin, and he was a lovely chap, and he was a very good artist as well, and he used to show us some things with his artistic skills sometimes. It's fantastic. But one of the things that always sticks with me is what he told me about using a ruler, which is when you're holding something like this, never hold it at one end and then draw down like this, because, and it's hard for me to show you with this, if you do, imagine I'm holding that like that, and then I draw along the line here, what I do is if I'm holding that and I'm drawing along here, I knock that down like this, and then you go off, your line goes off skew. So always hold a ruler in the center, and then your line remains straight and not. I've done it loads of times, but when I remember, it's always for the best, and so thank you, Mr. Applin. Hello again. I'm just going to show you, I've just put the stool onto the staging area. There we are, there's my bike over there. Onto the staging area with some of these mock-up right angle brackets, because I want to make the stool look like it's bolted to this floor, which of course is fake floor made of vinyl. And I was going to use these metal brackets, but I'm not going to do that now because of the storage issues in my suitcase. Cause a lot of problems. So we're not doing that, but that's just there to give you an idea of what I want it to look like, sort of. So I've come up with this prototype, what I made. There it is. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, it's supposed to be sort of like that, but it's made out of rubber. It's made out of rubber. It's basically 2 pieces of black rubber sandwiched together, and these things here are paper fasteners that you push through the first one and fold out, and then they're glued together. And I say this is just a prototype, so I haven't taken too much time doing it. I've sprayed it silver, then I've sprayed it with a kind of metallic finishing paint, and then I've done the usual distressing with charcoal and Fuller's Earth, so that gives you an idea of what it looks like. The lighting might help. There we are. So the idea is that I'm going to try is that I'm going to fix it perhaps to the floor, glue it to the floor, one half, and then when I come to put the stool, I'm going to position it, and then maybe there's a bit of Velcro behind there and a bit on the stool, so that will be the means by which I'll hopefully make it look like it's bolted to the floor. It's not the right colour yet, but I can't really tell in this light. It's hard for you to tell, but anyway, that's the idea, and I think it might work. I don't know, we're going to run with it anyway and see. I think it'll look fine. So there you go, another bit of innovation, I suppose, because we have to do it, because it's got to fit into the suitcase. So there we are. What madness is this, eh? Crikey. Anyway, onwards. More madness going on here in the shed. Thought I would just try and mock something up. This is just a little idea which probably won't get used, but thought I'd try it anyway. I'm not going to say too much about it apart from what I'm going to do. So I've got here my bicycle helmet. Okay, so my bike helmet, and I've got this little bit of plastic which I don't know, some sort of, I think it's a Gatto, that's right, a Gatto packaging. I've cut a hole in it, and I'm just going to mock it up with some masking tape onto the top of this helmet thing. Well, it is a helmet, isn't it? Bicycle helmet. I want to sort of see if I can make some sort of head, something like that. Anyway, I'll mock it up and show you in a bit. Let's see. Yes, nuts. Hello again. Last time I was mocking up a few bits, and this is what I've come up with. I don't know if you can see. So my bicycle helmet's under there. This is the plastic thing we had, and I've just attached it for now, and a little bit of a headdress. This is just a model's my suitcase. See, 1001 uses. There we are, like that. I don't know if I'm going to use this. I'm not going to say much more about it, but it's going to have, if it's used, it will have a beard of some sort, a graven beard. I've got all sorts of things from the pound shop and from my little, I don't know what that was from. I've got bits of metal here, aluminium mesh, which I've had for ages. So I should put this behind some cutout holes, I think. There, I know you can't see this very well. I've got that for my beard. I'll put some sort of end piece on the end of it. And I've got various things, textual things. These are big straws that I thought might be fun to place around this tube in some way, or half around it. And when I've made this, I'm calling it a beard. It's kind of like a pharaoh's beard. I might try and make it furry in places, a bit like a fly. What's it called? Brundle fly? Sabbaton fly? No, I'll shut up. Me again. I just thought actually that I hadn't shown you the finished leather straps, the reinforced leather straps that I told you about a while ago. So here they are, all finished. There you go. We've got one here. They're all slightly different. So we've got this one here. So they've got rivets, reinforced webbing, and this sort of faux leather that came from the pound shop. So we've got this one, long one here, and the buckles have been done in a tarnished steel colour. And here we have a slightly larger one. Made these little belt loops and bits of scrap. And then this last one here, which is a little bit tricksy, I'll leave it at that. But I've basically got these 3 straps that I needed to make for the show, so quite pleased with how they've come out. And they've all been distressed in the usual sort of way, so they hopefully should do the job and go with the rest of the set and props. So there we are, 3 reinforced leather floor straps. And the stool this way. Okay, so here we go into dark space, and here we are. Well, there's the finished floor laid out. Okay, and it's now, as you can see, a grey, somewhat scorched or worn floor. And again, I'm quite pleased with how that's come out. When the proper lighting's on, it'll be even better. But if I try and get a bit closer, you can see some of the detail there, like that. So quite pleased with that. The black scorch marks, whether real or imagined, are to do with, well, they're to do with the signal of fire. Yeah, this show's all about reality and what's real and what isn't really. But it's a worn sort of floor, but I kind of enjoyed putting those scorch marks in. Anyway, to be continued. Now the stool is done pretty much. There you see Snappy on the top. Snappy's gonna, I think, feature in the show as well. Okay, and there's our stool that we did, all those bits of pads on, and you can also see here are the fake steel brackets that I've put on the bottom to make it look like it's been bolted to the floor. So there's a bit of detail there, and they're made of rubber, so I can fit them in my case, and they are attached via Velcro. There, you see? Oh, the secrets, the secrets! But again, they're pretty good. So remember, all of this stuff, all of the floor, the stool, it all comes to bits, and it's got to go into my case over there. Either the case and or a big rucksack, I think, this time. So there you go. So that sort of concludes, I think, the majority of the builds for the show. There is still the possibility of doing my friend Albert over there, but I'm not sure. So we'll see anyway, but I hope you've enjoyed this time in the shed, and hope to see you at the show. Polaris touring from the end of October 2016 and at the moment going into January 2017. Be great to see you on the road. Come up and see me afterwards. Maybe buy a poster, a CD, anything like that. Okay, so I'm sure I'll pop up before then, but anyway, hope all well. Vertagen.
Whoa! Sab's Shed! Sab's Shed.